Welcome back to Moments with Pa. And I'm still in my new location in Pa's woodshop, and I thought I'd wear my hat to start off with, just to show you my fancy hat that I have for my workshop when I'm working out here and have guests come. I got to publicize my workshop. So anyway, enough of that. So hopefully I didn't mess up all the hair I got. So. All right, let's go on with, I want to do part 2 of living in expectation. Such an important subject. And I want to do another story. I did Luke 1 last time. I want to do Matthew 5, starting with verse 25. I want to read through this and I'll make some comments as we go. So, living in expectation. Mark 5:25. A woman in the crowd had suffered for 12 years with constant bleeding. She had suffered a great deal from many doctors. Over the years, she had spent everything she had to pay them, but she had not gotten any better. In fact, she even had gotten worse. Verse 27, and she heard about Jesus. So she came up behind him through the crowd and touched his robe. For she thought, now get this, she thought to herself, if I can just touch his robe, I will be healed. In other words, living in expectation. She was expecting something. If I could touch his robe, I can be healed. So verse 29, immediately the blood stopped, and she could feel in her body that she had been healed from this terrible condition. Jesus realized at once that healing power had gone out from him. So he turned around in the crowd and asked, who touched my robe? Wow. Get this scene. This scene is fantastic. His disciples said to him, my translation, are you crazy? That's Bob Wyatt there. That's my translation. Are you crazy? Basically said, he looked at the crowd, pressed around, look at the crowd pressed around you, his disciples said. How can you ask who touched me? But he kept on looking around to see who had done it. Then the frightened woman, trembling at the realization of what had happened to her, came and fell to her knees in front of him and told him what she had done. And he said to her, daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Your suffering is over. So one factor of her getting healed was that she expected to be healed. She expected it. When she touched the robe, she expected to be healed. And there was a great transmission of power, physical power, from him to her. And so faith has made you well, he said. So faith, my definition of faith is when the reality of the spiritual world overtakes the power of the physical world, or the reality of the physical world. So the spiritual world took over, and he called her daughter. Jesus did not identify her for her sickness. He said, oh, you're the sick woman. He called her, wow, get this, he called her daughter. That identified her in a close relationship to him. You don't get much closer than that. He called her daughter. Very close relationship. So go in peace. In other words, your suffering is over. Your faith has made you well because you believe that I could do this. Because you expected me to do this, it happened. She got what she expected. She got healed. And it was more than a physical touch. She touched the edge of his garment. But what happened is the Spirit went into her. And she had a spiritual touch. So I wrote a statement which kind of puzzled me at the time, and I've read it over several times, but I still like it. It says, why should we expect God to do something in our lives when we do not expect him to do something in our lives? Did you get that? It had to sink into me. I got that message and I thought, whoa, what does that mean? Why should we expect God to do something in our lives when we do not expect him to do something in our lives? We need to expect God to do something in our lives. Living in expectation. So, I want to continue on with this in the next session. So, until next time, may God the Father and Jesus his Son give you mercy, grace, and peace. The peace that passes all understanding. God bless you. Thank you for watching.